Aloha and welcome back to this week's episode of Live at the Legislature. I'm Kalo Halinzi, your host for the Legislative Minority. This week, the House passed a $1.25 billion budget to disperse the federal CARES money. And joining us this morning is Representative Gene Ward. He serves as the House Minority Leader and is joining us live from his home in Hawaii. Representative Ward, good morning.
Good morning. Aloha, and for Olelo, thank you for having us again live at the Legislature in our East Honolulu office. Kaio, good to see you.
Good to see you too. So let's just get your take yesterday on what happened during floor, and then we'll touch on the governor and the economic plan that you submitted with Representative McDermott.
Okay, let me first do a shout out to Kaiser graduates and Kalani graduates. Uncle Clay did a video, and I taped in that. I said, remember, guys, you got the whole world ahead of you. You got the world by the tail. But remember what the Treasure Cat told Alice in Alice in Wonderland. Alice was lost, and she said to the Treasure Cat, who was up on the wall, well, what do I do? Where do I go? And the Treasure Cat says, well, where do you want to go? And then Alice said, I don't know. So the Treasure Cat, and this is the bottom line of the whole thing for the graduates. If you don't know where you're going, any road will get you there. So graduates, look, choose your vision, your goals, set them down and accomplish them, and you'll do very well. I'm very proud of you guys. In fact, Kaiser, you guys have come out #1 in the nation for reading and math. Phenomenal development. Congratulations, Principal Mew. And for all of those teachers who made this possible, and those parents who the largest correlation of achievement is between parental engagement and the student achievement. So good job, East Honolulu. We're proud of you. Now, the question is, what happened yesterday? Day number 6?
Yeah.
Day number 6 was, as you indicated, we passed the budget, and in third reading, we've got a game plan to hopefully fill the pukas between what we've got from a lost economic development, a stagnating economy. As Mike Gabbard said earlier, we went from the lowest unemployment in the nation to now the highest. He said 35%. I think it's actually 37%. That is something that we've got to move on and move on quickly. And it relates to one of the things I spoke on the floor about yesterday. And that was, we got $36 billion into thermal testing. We don't have COVID-19 testing in that. And this goes to basically what Representative McDermott and I have been working on for the last months. And that is, Gaio and members of the audience, there's $17 billion on the table and lives at stake until we open that economy very systematically and very safely for the visitor industry. $17 billion on the line, which says you've got to have a very systematic way of doing that. Fortunately, Kevin Dayton this morning featured a lot of the things that we were doing, as well as Congressman Case. Senator Schatz is calling for testing. And Josh Green from the get-go was saying, hey, guys, let's test. Let's even go to CVS and Walgreens, test these guys so they know they're not polluting anybody on the airplane. And then when they get here, we know that our people are not going to be getting the infection. So what we've done, Kaio, is put together an 18-pager. 10 pages are probably the substance of it. And we walk them through how they get tested, how they go on the airplane, how they get thermal testing when they arrive, and how we watch for all those different signs. And we protect our people from them and them from us in the same way that the new mantra is from the old. The old, if we build it, they will come. The new mantra is, if they don't feel safe, they won't come. And having said that, is where we've got to be very, very conscious that we're going to compete with regions not as beautiful. They don't have the sand and the surf and all, but they've got the safety, and sand and surf and safety is going to be the key for us breaking through. So those are some of the things that went yesterday. And if I may continue, there's one more issue that I spoke on the floor.
Absolutely.
It was a shot across the bow of the judiciary. Some of us are very unhappy, and I repeat, very unhappy that some of these offenders, nonviolent and violent, are being issued into the community, back into the community. I mean, we're all under house arrest, but they get out of house arrest so they can go pick up the COVID-19. It doesn't make sense. It's leveraging an excuse of fear, and the overcrowding should have been taken care of in a different way. And that means prison space and other prison building needs to be taken into consideration. Use the COVID excuse as a way of infecting our community with criminals is almost criminal. And that's one thing I think as the astute leadership did. They said, okay, guys, judiciary, here's those empty positions we're going to take back, justify them, which means we're actually exercising our power of the budget. And I think that's a very good way to tell the judiciary, hey guys, we're the policymakers, you guys are not the policymakers. How's that for an opening comment, Kyle?
That's pretty good. We got a couple of minutes left. So, so I wanted to go back to the plan that you and Representative McDermott had introduced in yesterday's House Select Committee meeting. Can you tell us what some of the feedback was in the process of creating that plan that you submitted?
Well, the feedback was, and I commended on Twitter, the governor did a very 35,000 feet fancy, colorful color guide on how to reopen the economy, but it doesn't set dates. And then, as I tweeted, it doesn't say anything about the real opening of the $17.5 billion economy, the visitor industry. So we can circulate the dollars around ourselves here, but we are a capital short economy, and we really rely on tourism for a huge part of our economic well-being. And in macroeconomic theory, consumer spending is the whole modus operandi of making an economy go. It's like you got to keep the water in the pipe in the water moving, and that makes the economy start up. So we've got to get spending going. Local spending is not enough. We got to get visitor spending in. And one of the components is we want to make sure when they do come, they don't bring the infection with them. We have the lowest in the nation, and we want to keep it that way, but we don't want to import it just for the sake of making some money to make sure that nobody's going to die either from their bringing it here or from our interacting with them. So what we're doing is a very close testing example of when the airlines will say, you want to get on the airplane, if you want to go overseas, you do a passport. If you want to get on the airplane for Hawaii, you show a certificate of having been COVID-free. There are tests out there that are not 100% accurate, but it's better than what they're doing now. They're only going to do thermal testing, and then they're going to do trace testing. That's looking after the horse after he gets out of the barn. We're saying before any of this stuff, before they come here, we can do this, and we can do it practical. So Representative McDermott's a member of the special COVID task force, the speaker, and he is submitting that. And I spoke to the speaker yesterday. I think he's got 5 minutes to give his spiel before all of the various individuals.
Absolutely. And Representative Ward, I think we are just out of time or a little bit over. Thank you for joining us this morning. To the viewers at home, the plan that Rep. Ward and McDermott introduced is called Making Hawaii Safe for Travel. You can find it on the Capitol website or on our social media at High House GOP. Aloha, and we'll see you next week.
What are you doing? We have to go. I'm gonna be late for work.
It's Tuesday morning. I gotta record live at the legislature on Alelo. Senate and House leadership discussing what's happening at the state capitol.
So just watch it on the news tonight. Come on, let's go.
Hey, this is like getting the news before it's news. If only I could get this remote to work.
There. Can we go now?
No DVR? No problem. Watch Wednesday evenings at 7 p.m. on Channel 49.